We all know what it's like to have too many commitments. Everyone wants you to go someplace or do certain things, but sometimes you just don't have the time for it. So what do? Luckily for us, Turtle has, or rather, had the answer. Hello, Repony. My name is Hawk Nightwing, the most unapologetic defender of G5 you'll ever meet, and it's time for another Leaked Turtle episode review. This week, we have the G5 equivalent to Too Many Pinkie Pies, in the form of a Misty cloning episode, where the lesson of the day is, it's okay to say no sometimes. And so the question I'm sure you all have now is it another certified banger that deserves to see the light of day, or is it an episode that perhaps was right to be scrapped? Let's find out. Without further ado, this is my review of Turtle Season 2, Episode 27, Ponycorn, Ponycorn. The episode follows Misty as she's overwhelmed by too many commitments and wishes that she could be in many places at once and do everything. Fortunately for her, the magic of the board trot grants her wish, and suddenly, clones of her appear out of nowhere. Hijinks ensue. Eventually, Misty learns how to say no, gets rid of the popcorn clones, takes a nap, and the episode ends. So, what did I think of the episode? Well, I actually really liked it. It's not the best story you could tell with Misty, really, but it's one that fits her character quite nicely. Misty, at the end of the day, is a people pleaser. She grew up as a slave to Opaline, so naturally, saying no doesn't come easy to her. Of course you want to make every pony who wants her to do something happy, but most of the time, that's just not possible. The episode goes out of its way to put Misty in a position where she wants to please every pony, but she just can't. So when a magical solution comes her way, she takes it. She runs away from the problems instead of confronting it head-on and advocating for herself. She prioritizes the happiness of others over her own, and trusts the clones to do everything for her. So when things inevitably go wrong because be careful what you wish for, Misty is forced to confront her insecurities head-on and say no, which makes the clones disappear. It's a very relevant message for kids to learn, and it's one that, again, fits Misty perfectly, as this isn't a lesson she's had to learn in either show. Yeah, Too Many Pinkie Pies did this before in G4 and arguably better, but if you needed a character to teach a lesson like this for this generation, then I could think of no one better than Misty to be the central character, as considering her personality, she needed to be forced in a situation where she could advocate for herself and be assertive. She couldn't make it to every single event ponies wanted her to go to, and that's okay, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to please everyone, and if you try to, things just go wrong. Misty needed time to prioritize her own well-being and not stress about every single commitment, just like we in the real world have to do as well. What I love most about the conflict is that the clones are very simplistic. They only know how to say one word, that being yes. And that immediately clues you in that something is not quite right with the seemingly easy solution. And then we find out that they're a reflection of Misty's insecurities and it all just clicks. They're superficial and exist only to serve the will of others. They aren't characters with wills of their own. They're mindless puppets with no agency, which is again, what Misty wished for herself to be without knowing. Some pony who could do anything and everything to make ponies happy, even at the cost of herself. The only way they could be defeated is if they were told no. The exact word that vanquishes Misty's fear within her heart, and as a result, the clones are disintegrated as well, as all they ever were manifestations of that insecurity. Also, the ending with Misty taking a nap was just so wholesome, did I forget to mention that? What can I say except, this episode was thematically genius, and it's a really great episode. Not peak quality, I mean the story is kind of predictable when you think about it, but that aside, it really was well told, and it conveyed a meaningful lesson for kids to learn. Plus, it's true to Misty's character. So yeah, this episode absolutely deserved to be released, Hasbro. What were you thinking? But, what do you guys think of this episode? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this is Hawk Nightwing signing out. Hoof to heart.